Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video, new YouTube video. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and this one is going to be very different to all of the content I have uploaded thus far, because it is about a completely new video game that I've never covered before, which is F-Zero, which is basically a game that is highly underrated. And this is basically going to be an every level ranked video for the original game. I'm going to do this for every F-Zero game. And yeah, we've got all the tracks here on my custom tier list that I made this morning. I did try and make this as a full edited video with like video clips and voice clips and stuff like that, but it didn't really work because my editing software refused to accept my microphone for some reason. And yeah, it was a bummer. I did already have the tracks ranked, so I'm basically just going to be repeating that list here. And I'm just going to go over what each of the tracks is like, just in case you've never played the game. But I highly recommend you do. It's on the Nintendo Switch Online, which is where I mostly play it. You can also use an emulator to download and play it, which is what I did originally. There's obviously going to be music in the background, which is why I've got this video up here, which is the full F-Zero OST by this guy. I'm going to have this video link in the description of the video, of course. So yeah, let's just play it and go. Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. Right, first track is Mute City 1, and as the music kicks in, yeah, this is obviously the first track in the game. Very basic. It's got a bunch of straightaways, some easy turns, except the last one is kind of difficult. There's a jump and some off-road patches, and as you can hear, the music is pretty incredible. We love it. It is a classic, but it is also very basic, and the other tracks in this game are very good. So I think I'm going to put this one in C tier. That's what I did when I ranked all the tracks based on the gameplay anyway. Like, you can play this track a bunch of times, it's very easy, but it can get kind of boring. Sorry, I just had my name down there. And yeah, I know this might aggravate some people. Who am I kidding? All of these picks are going to aggravate some people, because everyone's opinions on these things are different, but I'm just doing mine. I'm also, I think, the first person on the internet to do a full every level ranked video on this game. I know someone did a like top 10 of the tracks in this game, but I am the first one to do all 15, I believe. So, moving on to Big Blue. I love Big Blue in this game. I love Big Blue in all F-Zero games, spoiler alert, but yeah, the music is incredible once again, which it will come, but just not yet. And yeah, it's blue, it's set in an ocean. This one is set in a city, Mute City 1. Part of the reason I ranked it solo is because the Mode 7 graphics don't really work with Mute City 1, it kind of just looks like static. But with Big Blue, it's really clear to see where everything is. The background looks amazing. Music is great, as I've said. The layout is, again, on the simpler side, but I don't really mind too much, because the track is just good. The music is lagging. Oh dear. Right. Yep, it lags. Loves to lag. Yeah. Let's just put Big Blue. I put this one in A tier. It's a great track. It works really well. I love playing it. It's the best track of the first cup in my opinion. And yeah, I'm going to pause and then play this one. Okay, well, the music is lagging, so we might as well just not use it. It's just going to be me talking now. So, yeah. You also have a bunch of ads and stuff, which I don't want, but we kind of have to have. So moving on. Sand Ocean. This one, I know I can't really see these names very well. These are just PNG images I downloaded off the internet. But, yeah. Sand Ocean is kind of alright. It's not the most impressive thing in the world. There's like a difficult turn halfway through, and that's about it. I mean, it's a desert level, so it's kind of meh. I'm gonna put it in I'll put it in B tier, because like It's alright. It's not bad by any means. I do enjoy playing on it. I think it's better than Mute City 1, but like a lot worse than Big Blue. So yeah. Deathwind 1. Oh boy. Yeah, so I don't like this track or its successor. So yeah. The wind gimmick is so freaking annoying. It is so bad. Like, on this version, it's not so bad. On Deathwind 2, it's absolutely freaking awful. But on Deathwind 1, there's a bunch of boost panels, which massively increase your speed, but because of the wind gimmick, it's so flipping difficult to hit them. There's also a section with like 3 off-road patches at once. And it's just very, very annoying. Obviously the turns aren't very difficult. This one is literally just an oval, so it's the simplest track in the game pretty much. Like all the rest of the tracks, I actually only realized this recently, all of the tracks only have 1 health pad, and this one is like halfway through the track, which is really weird because most of the other tracks are like near the start or like right at the end. In the case of Firefields, that health pad is right at the end. Yeah, Deathwind 1, this track is going in D tier. Yeah, I really don't like that one. It's not like awful. I can stand playing on it. Like, I can survive. I can beat Deathwind 1 on the first try. But yeah. Right. Silence. Last track of the Night League. This one is kind of also mid-tier. I'd say it's good still. It's the first track in the game that really takes the training wheels off. Because it has a lot of sharp turns, but they're like very manageable once you learn how to brake and slide around turns. Like, it's very manageable. But yeah, I think this one is also in B tier. I will rearrange these afterwards, don't worry. But I do think this goes above Sand Ocean, but yeah. The background of this one is also very unique. I think the music is also pretty unique as well. I mean, all of the songs in this game are great, but yeah, Silence is going in B tier. Mute City 2, this track is good. I like this one. It's orange, which is unique. Like, the only other track that really has the same color scheme is Sand Ocean, and that's kind of yellowy. So yeah, it's sunset, so it's great. I'm gonna get rid of the ads. But yeah, I actually can't remember if in my initial ranking script I put this in B or A tier. I'm gonna put it in no, I'll put it in A tier for now. I'll see what happens at the end of this. Okay, Port Town 1. This one for me is kind of forgettable. Like, I know it exists, but apart from that, I don't really know much. It has the magnet section, which is notable. It's the first track to have magnets, and they mess with your controls. There's a big jump, I know that. But other than that, the turns are quite basic. It's a relatively easy track, apart from the magnet section. So I'm going to put this one... I mean, it's not a bad track. I'm going to put it in B tier again. I think there's going to be a lot of B tiers and A tiers. Red Canyon 1. This track is pretty good. I like Red Canyon in this game. It is a very good map style. The music is pretty incredible. The visuals are pretty nice. And yeah, it's just a well-rounded course overall. There's also like the triple jump section with the magnets underneath that like suck your machine downwards, so that's an interesting obstacle. The turns aren't really that difficult. There's like the opening turns are kind of difficult, but other than that, it's kind of like, I want to say easy, but like none of these tracks are that easy. I'm gonna put this one in A tier as well. I like this track. We've got an interesting phenomenon here. Whiteland 1 immediately followed by Whiteland 2. And there's pretty differing opinions on this one for me. Whiteland 1, much like Port Town 1, I find quite forgettable at times. Like, it's just, there's nothing really about it that's special to me. There's like the section with the dirt with the ramps in it, but that section is kind of just annoying for me because there's magnets there as well, which mess with the controls, and the jumps just feel weird and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. I still like it. I like every F-Zero track apart from Deathwind, but that's another story. Yeah, this one I'm gonna put in B tier as well. It's not terrible, but it's also not the greatest thing in the world. Next up, White Land 2, which surprisingly, unlike its predecessor, I actually really like. I really like White Land 2. First off, something that I only realized once I'd played both tracks is that White Land 2's music is different to White Land 1's music, but only very slightly. Like White Land 1 is kind of a calming melody with like very soft instruments. White Land 2 is kind of a more like punchy digital version with like raw instruments, and I much prefer it. I also love the layout of this track. There's like difficult turns, there's a big jump like halfway through. There's also that one section where all the stuff that the walls are made of is like clustered on the two turns, and if you've got a lot of health you can like boost through that to take a big shortcut, which I really like. And yeah, this is a very well-rounded course overall, and it's going in A tier. So on to the last league already. We have Mute City 3. For a longest time, Mute City 3 was my favourite track in the game, which is kind of surprising. This track actually looks great for an SNES track. It is a very good track. It has... I like the nighttime colour scheme on this one. It is very good looking, actually. Like, the neon cityscape makes you actually feel like you're in a city, which, like, harkening back to Mute City 1, which looked like static. This one actually looks like you're in a city, which is really cool. It has the exact same layout as Mute City 1, but with a load more obstacles. Like, on the main straightaway section, like, right as you begin the track, there's bits of the wall sticking out that you can bump into, and I've been humbled by that section many times in the past, let me tell you. Yeah, and another section where, like, the off-road section on the other Mute City tracks. On this one, there's mines blocking it, so it's actually a very risk versus reward section. Or at least it would be, but the ironic thing is that it's actually easier to boost through the off-road, and it's easier to avoid the mines that way than it is by going around, which is kind of insane, but yeah. Usually if I try and go around, I hit at least 3 mines, but if I do the shortcut normally, I don't normally hit any. So, yeah. Again, I really like this track. This one is also going in A tier. So, yeah. Okay, Deathwind 2. This is probably the worst track in all of F-Zero. It definitely is in this game. I don't know if there's a track in Maximum Velocity that is worse than this, because Maximum Velocity has a lot of difficult tracks. But yeah, this one is a very hard D tier. This is the one with the boost panels right before turns, which you take the boost panels, you think, oh wow, I get a nice boost in speed. I'm going like 600 km/h. You like bonk, 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 hit about 4 walls and crash out, basically, which is not a good thing. Yeah. So moving on, we have Port Town 2, which, in my opinion, is better than Port Town 1. It is a bit more entertaining. The opening section is the same, with the same like jumps and stuff, but then after the magnet section you've got a bunch more difficult turns, and then the end is like a straightaway, then you have a rapid left turn, and then it's like a zigzag into the final straightaway, which I find really cool. This track was also remade in F-Zero X, which is really interesting that they chose this one. But yeah, I think I'm gonna also put this one in A tier. I really like this one. I don't know if I mentioned this for Port Town 1, but the background stuff for this one is also really good. It's like Mute City 3 level of good. But yeah. Alright, 2 left, and conveniently enough, on my original ranking, these were both S tier. So yeah. Red Canyon 2. This is actually my personal favourite track in the game. I really like Red Canyon 2. Again, the opening section is much like Red Canyon 1. It has the the quick turns followed by the jump and the magnet section. Then right after the magnet section, you have the big arrow shortcut to the left, which is so much fun to take. It's also quite difficult. It's like unnervingly difficult. You don't realize how difficult it is at first. Generally, I like to boost into it. But yeah, and then after that, there's like some difficult turns and stuff near the end. Also, the opposite path to the arrow shortcut is covered in mines as well. So it's kind of it's another risk versus reward thing. I think the mines aren't that difficult to avoid, but I have hit them multiple times in the past. So yeah, as I said, this is going in S tier. Let's go. Then probably one of the most controversial ones, apart from Mute City 1, Firefield. I love Firefield. I just want to say now I love Firefield. It is a really cool track. It is an absolute gauntlet, which makes sense because it's the final track in the game. But it is insane how difficult this track is. There's like every 5 seconds there's a 180-degree turn. We have to turn the complete opposite way. It has basically every stage has it in the game, as mines, magnets. Doesn't have any jump pads, which is kind of strange. But other than that, it has most of the other obstacles. Has an ice patch. I say ice patch. Basically, slippery road patch on one of the turns. It doesn't affect that too much. It's just kind of notable. The only health pad on the track is like set off on a different angle, so that you have to go out of your way to collect it, which loses some time, but seeing as it's the only way to get health on this track, it's very worth it. Oftentimes, because it's right at the end, I just play the track like the first 2 laps and then crash out deliberately, because if you try and do this track normally, it takes like 4 or 5 minutes to complete. It's insane, but I love it for that, and I'm going to put it in S tier. Okay, so now I'm going to like reorganize these. For D tier, this is kind of the same. Deathwind 2 is much worse. Deathwind 1 is these are the only ones I don't like. Mute City 1, I feel kind of bad putting in C tier, but it kind of deserves it in my opinion. B tier, now I'm going to get confused. I believe this is Sand Ocean, which goes below Silence, and this goes below that. I think that's a good order. Right, A tier, Big Blue in front, Mute City 3 in front of that, Red Canyon 1 in front of Mute City 2. Yeah, that's, I think, a good order for that. And then these two are the correct order. So that's my list. In 15th place, Deathwind 2, then Deathwind 1, Mute City 1, Port Town 1, Whiteland 1, Sand Ocean, Silence, Port Town 2, Whiteland 2, Mute City 2, Red Canyon 1, Mute City 3, Big Blue. In second place is Firefield, and in first place is Red Canyon 1. So yeah, that's my list, I guess. Didn't take me that long. And yeah, I will be making an F-Zero X ranking fairly... I don't want to say soon, because it probably won't be, but yeah. I'm also going to be restarting Minecraft live streams pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, for a series where I update a Minecraft world from one version to the next and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is my F-Zero tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!